Well, everybody, I messed up. Welcome back, everybody. Driver 53 here, and I just want to say right off the bat, I'm sorry. I didn't fully understand how profits and economics work, apparently, and we had some comments on some videos, and I've been taught some things over the last couple days, and this is me presenting to you. I'm sorry, and we're gonna look at things a little bit differently here on out. So, if you were upset about the way that the data was presented in a couple of the last videos, please let me apologize right here, right now. We're gonna be looking at something today that's kind of interesting, and then we're gonna be looking at the data again that I presented in those last two videos. And the reason they came out with the bad data is because I already had them scheduled. I already had them created. I couldn't go back and recreate everything without taking, honestly, about 12 hours worth of time to be able to do that. So, unfortunately, they came out. But this is me, once again, apologizing. I'm admitting I messed up, and let me try and fix it for you. So, let's jump into it. First thing is going to be biodiesel right here. Now, what I did is, I showed you profit. And I showed you profit looking at it from the standpoint of using all of the factories in a row. All right. So when I showed you the profit and said that it was, about $2,500 for the sale price, I uh, I gave you the max profit that you could make on that. Okay. And the problem with that is it's not smart to use biodiesel in your plants. The reason is because you're losing money, like incredibly bad. Incredibly bad. You're losing a lot of money by doing that. You're honestly better off to take this diesel and your canola, mix it together, and then sell your biodiesel. And the profits that you make off the biodiesel, then you can just buy regular diesel for your other factories. Okay? So that's the way we're going to go going forward. Every factory from here on out that we take a look at is going to be using that process. All right, so we're going to make the biodiesel from our canola and our regular diesel that we buy. Regular diesel is going to be $1.25. Canola is going to be no cost to us because we're growing it. Now, yes, I totally understand there's costs. There's going to be how much the fertilizer costs, how much the seed costs, how much the lime costs, how much fuel it takes to do all those activities, to run the harvester, your workers, the maintenance on your vehicle, your taxes on your property if you've got a loan, all an interest. There's so many things, but everybody does it so differently. There is absolutely no way for me to know what the average is on that, so I'm just removing that at all. So understand you will have costs associated with that, but there's zero way that I'm going to be able to give you that information because if you run a 3 meter plow or a 12 meter plow, it's a lot different. If you run a 6 row corn header versus a 12 row corn header, or on canola, if you run a 35 foot versus a 45 foot, header when you're harvesting, or you do a John Deere sprayer, or you plant whenever you fertilize whenever you seed. It is so many different ways that it's incredibly impossible for me to know what those costs are. So, canola, zero cost. Wiping all that out. Then you're gonna put everything in, right? And then you're gonna be able to make your money. And it sounds incredibly simple, right? But if you take your canola, and it's free to you, it's only about a $20,000 investment on production level 1 for this, right? So you're going to be able to make a ton of money. So your profit on your biodiesel is still going to be the same because it's still no cost. All right. So it's going to be $130,000 you get to put in your pocket, or 118 if you're running production too. Now, there were some comments that I didn't factor in the value of the crop. Okay, it's a valid point because when you don't figure in the value of the crop, you're not looking at what they claim your profit. Okay, profit to me is I sell something, how much did it cost me to make it? In this instance, I sell it for $150,000, and it cost me $19,375 on production level 1, right? That's a profit of $130,625. I was told that I also need to subtract the value of that canola. So to me, that just still doesn't make sense, because I'm going to take and I'm going to put $130,000 in my pocket, right? Now, is there a difference in the amount of money I could make if I just sold the canola versus the amount of money I make if I make biodiesel? Absolutely. But we're not looking at that right here. Okay? Go back and look at my first 2 videos. You'll be able to see what that was. Okay? From here on out, we are not looking at the amount of difference in profit between selling a product after the factory or using the input and selling that. All right? So like on boards, wood chips, right? How much can I make selling wood chips? Well, whatever the value is, I don't care. And the reason I don't care, and I might seem blunt, but the reason I don't care is because I'm using these factories as the way that they are intended to be used. Okay? I'm looking at the profit of using the factory. If this series was looking at max profits, it would be done completely differently. Okay? I wouldn't even, all my data would be absolutely different. I would show you absolute best dollar. I wouldn't be showing you average sale price. I'd be showing you absolute best sale price. And if you're purchasing something, I'm going to show you the absolute least price that you can purchase your diesel at. But I'm not showing that. I'm showing average right now. So I'm showing how you're going to be able to use these factories together and not focus on the max amount that you can make. If you want to make the max amount, take this data here, apply the absolute best sale price that you can get for that item, figure it out, and that's going to be your max profits. There's so many different variations in this. I will have 3 pages worth of spreadsheets up here, and there's 16 possible combinations. I don't feel like you guys are going to get anything from that. You're going to be so lost. That's why I'm showing it like this. Okay? So, now that we've done all that, and I'm sorry if this still confuses people or upsets people that I'm not going to show it the way that you want me to show it, this is the way I'm showing it. If you want it looked at a different way, I'm giving you all the values. Calculate it, and let's move on. I had a day and a half of conversation. I've focused on this now for 2 days. It's preventing me from being able to move on and make other content, and it's really making me want to just stop this series. But I don't want to. I want to keep going because I feel like there's a lot more that we can do here in figuring out how much per day we're going to need for that. And that's the whole point of this, is to know how much product we need a day, right? The whole profit side is just because somebody on one of my first videos asked me could I show them profit. So I'm more than willing to add it in here, but it wasn't my initial intention when I started this series. So I'll add it, but please, if you think it's a different way, be polite. Let's work together. Let's not be combative, right? You can contact me on Discord. Totally understanding. I might even admit that I'm wrong again. If you can show me the data that says I calculated it wrong, absolutely. I'll stand by it, right? But if you come at me in a negative way and don't want to work with me on the situation, then yeah, it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun for me, and I'm just going to quit. I'm going to quit, and I'm going to go into something else. So I want to have fun doing Farming Simulator. We're a community. We're supposed to work together. Okay? We're collaborators. Whether it be 2 different content creators or a content creator and his audience, right? The community, right? We don't need the negativeness right now. There's enough of that going on. We don't need any more of it. So, positive. Here's the new data. As you can see, I've got the top line here. This is what I showed you the other day for boards. All right, we're going to move on to boards. So let's go over here and take a look at boards. Oh, and by the way, check out this awesome new mod. It's a man truck, right? M-A-N. Or no, I'm sorry. It's the Tatra, the Phoenix. Got a lot of Phoenixes going around now, but it's a IT runner truck, and it's going to be able to hold the boards. Absolutely perfect. And then you can get the IT runner for the other stuff. And look, y'all, the biodiesel, it actually came back. I forgot to mention that. The biodiesel came back. You can actually see it now. Look at that. Absolutely great. I had these sitting over here and they were empty. I did the update today and boom, they all showed up. So absolutely awesome. So boards right here. So here's the data that I showed you the other day. And the biggest thing that was the issue is the diesel cost per liter. I had it at 32 cents. And the reason I had that is because I took the amount of diesel that we made, the biodiesel that we made at 60,000 liters, all right? I didn't even worry about selling it, which was not the best idea because, like I said, the best idea is to sell it and don't even use it in your next process. Use that factory as a standalone factory to make your profit to then be able to fund your other places, all right? So 32 cents, if I'm going to use that product straight in here and I don't look at the value of it as a sellable item and I just bring it straight over, it's 32 cents. All right, I'll stand by that. But $1.43 here in the second line, you can see that. And the reason I got $1.43 is because I calculated in how much that canola is worth. All right, canola sells for about $1,072 on average. Well, I use 62,000 liters, right? So I added that plus the cost of my fuel, which is $19,375. All right, divided that out by 60,000, and I got $1.43. So that is how much it cost me because I lost out on the revenue from the crop. Okay, this is the way it was explained to me. I lost out on the revenue of the crop, so now I have to include the value of that crop into my calculations to know how much that biodiesel cost me now. All right, as you can see, if you go all the way across, you're making almost $3,000 less on per day on profit, right? And if you look at overall, it's about $20,000 less because of the cost of that fuel. Now, production level 2, it's going to be about 25,000. Okay, maybe 24,000. Yeah, 24,000 right here for production level 2. And per day, I mean, you're looking at 16.6 versus 11.8. It's $5,000 less per day because of the cost of that diesel. So, it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. Okay, and what doesn't make sense is to use your biodiesel. All right, it doesn't make sense to use your biodiesel. You just need to sell it. So the third line down here, this is if I would have bought diesel straight up, just like I did for the first factory. I'm going to do it for here at $1.25. Okay, so what that comes out to my profit using wood chips that I source myself, it's going to be almost $71,000. Okay, total over 6.7 days because that's how long it took me. Okay, per day, it's about 10.6 thousand. If I look at production level 2, it's going to be about 65,500 or 12.6 roughly $1,000, 12,650 to be exact. So that's what we're going to do for everything else. Everything else, we are not going to use biodiesel. We are only going to use our regular diesel. Okay. So next, let me take you over here and show you sunflowers. I want to go over this data too, because it did change also. All right, so the same thing happened here. You can see the very top line. What it is, it's that value that I gave you the other day, and it's incorrect. Okay. Next one is going to be $1.43 on your biodiesel, if that's what that came out to be. Okay. Now that's going to give you a total profit of $125,000 on production level 1, or $19,245 a day. On production level 2, it's going to be $117,000 roughly, or $26,767. So still really good to do production level 2. Yes, you use more product, but it's a lot better profit per day, right? You get your return a lot faster. Let's go to the next one. The next one is using biodiesel or regular diesel. Okay, so at $1.25 for the diesel, I'm going to make $128,000. So at $1.25, I'm going to make $128,000 roughly for production level 1, or $19,694 per day. Production level 2, it's going to cost me about $27,000, so it's going to be $121,000 profit, or $27,663 per day. So once again, production level 2 reigns supreme. Now, it was also brought to my attention that it doesn't make sense, profitability-wise, to take my product, the sunflowers, the sunflower oil, or the boards, and use them in the barrels or the potato chip factories. Now, I'll just say this is Farming Simulator. All right, a lot of things in Farming Simulator are not as they are in real world. We're going to have to suspend our disbelief a little bit here. If you want to use these factories, know that it's not going to be the absolute most profitable way. But if you want to play the game and use the factories the way that they are intended to be used, I feel like this data is good. Okay? If you're looking for the absolute best way to be able to make money, just keep farming soybeans all day long. Plow your entire vamp up, plant soybeans, and just go to town. If that's all you're cared about is max profitability, do that. It's easy. Plant or fertilize while you plant, come back, harvest, do it right again. That's it. That's all you got to do. Simple. But if you want to play the game a little bit differently and use something new, here you go. I feel like this data is good. So, sorry for a bummer video today, everybody, but I wanted to definitely make sure that you understand I am sorry for presenting some bad data. I appreciate all the support that I've gotten from everybody that has been constructive criticism and positive comments. Thank you all very, very much. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. So if you enjoyed the video, you learned something today, go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you would. If you want to be kept up to date on all my latest Placeable Factories videos here, think about hitting that subscribe button. And if you do, hit the notification bell too. Have a great day, night, evening, everybody. Until next time, this is Driver 53, signing off.